everyone, and welcome back to How to Play It. I'm Cora, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Friday. If you haven't already and are a little confused by the setup of Friday, make sure to check out our other video, which is called The Setup of Friday. Because as you can see, the setup is a little bit complicated, and it'll make sure to make a lot more sense in the video. Alright, so now we are going to get to actually playing the game. First of all, on your turn, you always want to make sure to check the phases cards. As I explained earlier, there are 3 phases. There's green, yellow, and red. You always start out with green because green is always the easiest level, and then as your game progresses to be more and more complicated, you grow into being more developed, and then you get to the harder stages. So, like I said, on your turn, once you've checked the phase cards, you always have to draw 2 of these hazard cards. So, let's see, 1 and 2. Alright, so you're going to be looking at the top, right here. Now, on each of these hazard cards, they have different numbers, and they each represent different things. So, this 3 right here, that you can see, shows how many fighting cards you can draw to defeat the hazard. And these numbers, the stoplight, the green, yellow, and red, they show what phase you're on. So you always gotta look, because right now I'm on the green phase, so I only pay attention to the green number, not any of the other numbers. And same on this one. This one you can only draw 1 card though, and you have to get a total of 0 fighting points. So once you draw these cards, you then pick which one you would like to try to defeat, destroy, whatever you want to call it. So I think I'm going to pick this one for now. So we're going to put the other one in the discard pile right below the hazard deck. So I'm only focusing on this one. Then I look at my fighting cards and I draw 3 because it says that I can only draw 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we have to look at what each of these numbers mean. So, there's a -1 right here, a 0, and a -1 again. My goal was to reach 2. Ay, that was not good. As I was saying, these fighting cards, the numbers in the corner, as you can see, this has the -1. This shows that Robinson, the character who appeared on Friday's Island, is distracted from the target. And you don't want to be distracted, weak, or even more distracted, because you want to get a value of 2 so then you can claim this card as your own. But sadly, I lost that round because I actually got -2 instead of 2. So every time you lose to a hazard card, you have to take that many lives away from your own life stack. So, sadly, this means that I have to take 4 lives away because I am 4 numbers away from the value that I needed to reach, which is very sad. This shows that Robinson is very weak and not developed yet. So then, once you lose to a hazard card, you put the hazard back in the deck and you put these back in the discard pile. But wait, there's one more thing. After I lost all of these 4 lives from the hazard card, I can actually get rid of or destroy some of my own fighting cards. When Robinson is weak, you don't want some of the weaker cards, such as -1s and 0s. And each of these fighting lives can take away one of these cards once you lose to a hazard card. So this little symbol in the corner has the number of lives, shows how many lives it takes to destroy that card. But you can't forfeit any of your own lives to destroy a card. It has to be in the lives you lost in the battle that you didn't win. So I have 4 lives and I could take away 4 cards right now, but I only have 3. So I am actually going to remove all of these because they are not good cards to continue playing in the game. So then you take these cards and set them off to the side. Alrighty, so then you keep on going and going and going. I'm going to show what happens when you win a against a hazard, or whatever you want to call it. So, ooh, there's 4 and 4, and 2 and 1. So, now this has a value of 4, but you have to get a total of 4 in fighting points. And this has, you can only draw 2 cards and a value of 1. I think I'm going to go for the lower value because I don't have that many good cards right now. So I am going to discard this card and put it in the pile so that it can be played later. Now I take my fighting cards and I can draw 2 cards for one value, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Ooh, I'm weak, and I'm weak. Ooh, that stinks. So I lost against the hazard. But there's another chance that you can take, or a different route you can take if you really want to win against this hazard, which I do. You can spend one of your own life tokens, put it in the discard pile, and draw another fighting card, which is what I'm going to do now. Now, I'm weak again. That's sad. So Robinson is weak, weak, and weak. He's very weak, clearly. So I did not win against this one again. But let's just say I did. We're going to find a 1 in here. So right here, this is actually a 2. So let's say I drew the 2 instead of the 0. We put that back in the pile, and we'll say that I drew this. And I won against this hazard. This means that I take all of these fighting cards and I put them off in my discard pile so that they can be reused in the next round along with the hazard card. So then the hazard card goes in the pile. As you can see, I had some 0s. If I really wanted to get rid of them, I can't. I have to lose to a hazard to do that. So I cannot forfeit any of my own life points to get fighting cards out of the game. So there is that. That's the discard pile. So yay, I won a hazard, finally. Now, let's say all of these are played, and there's like this number or so in the discard pile. Then, all of these are in my discard pile, and they have all been played. You don't just shuffle them, but as the board says, you have to add an aging card. These aging cards range from anything from negatives to 0s, and some even have special abilities. The one that I drew right now says that the highest card equals 0. So if I had a 3 against a hazard card, then it would equal 0. 0, which is not good. And you know what? Another bad thing about aging cards is that they take 2 lives instead of 1, as it says in the corner, to get rid of and take out of the game. So let's just say that there's an instance where I have these. Okay. So these are my drawing cards. And I draw 2 hazards. Okay. 2. So now let's say I'm going for this one. Put that one in the discard pile. I get to go and draw a card. And it's 1. So I need 1 more point to win over the hazard. Oh no. I got the aging card. This means that my highest card, which is 1, turns into a 0 because your highest card equals 0. So this is pretty much unaccounted for, which I just like to set down there. So now, sadly, I've lost to the hazard, and that means that I have to lose a certain number of lives or spend lives to keep playing, which I don't want to risk that at this point because I'm starting to lose a lot of lives. So I would just lose 2 lives. All right. If I lost 2 lives, then that actually means that I can take this card out of the game, like that, or you can leave it in play and just save it for later, which isn't the smartest thing to do because you don't want any negatives or 0s in your pile once you get to the next phase. All right. So that is pretty much how you play Friday, except then we're going to skip to the end of the game. So make sure to watch our end of the game Friday